Lisa texted me about 45 minutes ago. She goes, I thought it was at 5. How come it's already started? I'm like, you must be watching.
Join the meeting.
Hello?
Lisa texted.
Hi, Francesca. You there?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Okay, that's up.
Hey, I was gonna see if you could help Mayor get logged in to the Zoom meeting. I was gonna see if you can help Mayor get logged into the Zoom meeting. Okay,
Well, the city's providing soft drinks for us?
yeah.
Sir? Is this no shave, no Movember, whatever they call it?
It is.
There you go. You know, I found that they got the mask.
Mask
Hides all
looks
the hair, so
good.
no one actually knows if you don't shave the day.
Hey, David wants mine after the meeting. I told him if we get out less than 3 hours, he can have it. He can wear it on Thanksgiving Day.
You have to get rid of it, what you're saying?
Probably not.
Oh,
Who is this one, Chad? This is Mary. It's Faulkner. Hey, Mary Faulkner. This is Mary Goldsmith, you mean? Yeah. Okay. I just want to put it down right now. Yeah.
Are you just gonna read that?
Relative of mine. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Morgan's, my sister-in-law. So. Not by blood, but some. Oh. So you're all related. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's in the bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
And that used to be her property.
Oh, I know what you said.
So that's the really horrible part.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Hi, Joan.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. Hi,
Okay,
Joan. How are you?
fine. Yeah, doing well. Hi, Rick.
Good. How's Scott?
He's good.
Ian Grunwald with
Good.
Urban Engineering.
Join the meeting.
hi, Joe.
Today's number.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know, we had discussion, but there was a TML notice and the governor he officially said there's no second shutdown.
No.
So,
Did you see that Zanoni put out that Corpus was going to be getting some of the Pfizer vaccine in December?
no, I did not, but I did see they were distributing the Lamictal Vab or whatever.
Ready?
Supposed to
We're
keep
ready
you
to
out of the
start
hospital.
here.
That's already available in Corpus.
Is it? Okay, awesome.
Is it for
Can you hear us,
first
Mayor?
responders and
No,
I can
the,
hear you.
talking about, I think it's the one that,
They gave to Trump.
Ready to go?
no, but what you're talking about.
Is everyone ready?
Yes, Mayor.
They for sure would
It's
get
November 19, 5 p.m.
the order of who.
Calling to order the City Council regular meeting.
Well, sure.
And who's doing the opening prayer?
Chief's gonna do the opening prayer.
We're not going to do the pledge.
I'll pledge first.
Yes.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
Stands one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads. Our Father, creator of the heaven and earth, we know that you are a loving and merciful God. As we enter this, the holiest of all seasons, we thank you for the many blessings that you have provided each of us. Thank you for allowing us to share this day, these leaders, and the good fortune to be part of the Port Aransas community. In this time of uncertainty, division, and escalating chaos, we find comfort knowing that you are with us. We pray that you guide our national leaders towards common decency, our state leaders towards common sense, our local leaders towards common ground. Forgive us when we fall short of your expectations. Remind each of us that the one thing we should all have in common is the sense of duty to serve you ahead of ourselves. We ask that you protect those that protect us, both here and abroad. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, I have a couple, I have one presentation I want to do, and then I do want to bring you up to date on the COVID count in Nueces County. It's now 214 cases as of today, and it seems to be rising. So it was 172 yesterday, 214 today. I encourage all citizens to take this seriously. Wear a mask, wear protection, wash your hands just like the doctors have told us to do, and we'll try to get through this together. I want to do a presentation to our gas department in recognition of excellence. The City Council would like to congratulate the Port Aransas Gas Department for being recognized for its excellent performance rating for 2020 and for 15 consecutive years of excellent ratings from 2004 to 2019 by the Texas Municipal League Intergovernmental Risk Pool. The award stems from the gas department's pledge to excel by providing the community with specialized subject matter experts and performing the highest degree of safety in the field. And I want to congratulate our gas department for that award. The second thing I wanted to bring your attention to.
Kathy Fulton.
Join the meeting.
Is that the 87th legislature there is a bill pending in that legislature that authorizes the Port of Corpus Christi to develop real property it owns inside the boundaries of a municipality in the same way PCCA was authorized to develop the Navy station at Ingleside, namely for job creation and retention, economic development, industry and commerce and manufacturing, housing, recreation, and infrastructure installation. It authorizes PCCA to develop an authorized project on PCCA's real property in a city or lease PCCA's real property in a city to another person for an authorized project.
Mayor, we do have this as an agenda item.
Oh, do we?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what item is that?
It's all the way at the end, city manager report. It's item Y.
Okay, all right, well then we'll move on.
Okay.
Into that. Okay. Public hearing on the following is a final plat, 2494, William R. Ellis subdivision, Block 2, lots 2, 3, and 4, 0.8585 acres, being a
No, I can do it, but it's just.
I have to take this. Yes, no.
When do you want to take over? He's got to answer the phone.
Hey, Mike, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna restart because I kind of lost mayor's track there. Okay, so public hearing, first item A, it's for the final plat for the William R. Ellis subdivision, block 2, lots 2, 3, and 4, which is 0.8585 acres, being a replat of lots 1 through 11, block 3, the Captain H.M. Teller tract. It's an 11-foot wide strip of land between Captain H.M. Teller tract and lot 1, block 3, as shown on the map. Made for J.M. Ellis, recorded in volume 5, page 3, miscellaneous map records of Nueces County, Texas. Is there any comments on that particular item?
I'm going to allow individuals into the council meeting right now to ask.
Okay.
The Captain H.M. Teller tract. It's an 11-foot wide strip of land on the map.
Hello?
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 Do you have any comments?
Hello?
Read all the public
Okay.
hearing items.
I don't know if they want to do it one at a time.
Yeah, let's read them all
Okay.
three and then
They can
ask.
speak on, yeah.
We can
Okay.
go through and ask.
All right, no problem. So B is a final plat, 2534 Cinnamon Shore South, Unit 3, part of Cinnamon Shore 2, PUD. And it's a 6.10 acre, being a replat of lot 1, block 1, lot 31, block 1, lot 33, block 1, lots 26, block 2, lot 32, block 2, lot 22, block 5, Cinnamon Shore South, Unit 1, part of Cinnamon Shore 2, PUD. And then item C is a final plat, 202535 Rock Cottages Townhomes, lot 1, block 1, units 1 through 28, and lot 1, block 2, 3.41 acres of land, being a portion of lot 6, block 32, all of lot 7, block 32, and a portion of lots 4 and 5, block 37, state land surveys on Mustang Island, Nueces County, Texas. Those are the,
Let's see if we have comments on
okay.
those three.
So there are the three items. If there's public comments on any of those three items, Frank, you can accept those.
You've entered the council meeting. Do you have any comments on the public hearing? Sorry, it's going to take me a minute. I had to ask them all to mute. You have to ask them to unmute now.
Can you just unmute one at a time and ask them?
Yes.
Just go through the list. Maybe that'd be
Do you
easier.
have any comments for the public hearing?
No comment.
Okay. Will you have citizen comments?
I have no comment.
Sounds like it.
How many others are there?
There's
There's,
3 or there's 4.
yeah.
Right now?
Hello, this is Daniel Mazak.
Hi, Daniel. Do you have any comments for the public hearing?
Not for the public hearing, not for that agenda item, but I have a public comment.
Okay. We'll get to that in just a moment.
Okay, no problem. I'll mute myself.
This Kathy Fulton.
Hi, Kathy.
Yes, I do have public comment, but not necessarily for this.
What's the last four of your phone number?
My number is area code 432-386-3945.
Okay, thank you. And the rest of these I've asked to unmute and they have not unmuted, so I don't know if they've got off the phone call or if they've not. Don't know how to unmute.
Okay, why don't we go on to citizen comments and reports? You want me to read the ones that have been submitted first, or ask for ask for citizen comments from the chat?
We'll ask for citizen comments.
Okay.
Kathy, are you still there?
Yes.
With your citizen comment?
Yes. I would like to say that on Tuesday, the port held its regular meeting, and Sean Strawbridge said at this meeting about this legislation that the port wants to get through. He said specifically, Port Aransas wants this legislation. They are excited about this legislation and are fully supportive of it. This is because Port Aransas did not sign the letter that the 10 other mayors signed. I would like to know if this statement that Sean Strawbridge made is true, and if leaders are supporting this legislation by the port, which would basically nullify the bogus settlement agreement that was signed, because it will completely take away any oversight of any code. It's extremely frightening and very disappointing to think that we have people going behind our backs either telling Strawbridge that they're not. And if this wasn't said to Sean Strawbridge, then I think the city needs to rebut this by letting the port know that they're putting words in the city's mouth. This should outrage the city if this statement wasn't made by a city official. And I would like to know if it was done by a city official, who said it. And I would also like to go on record as saying Laughing Rock, Laughing Horse, whatever's going in over there, they didn't even try to cut down the sizes or remember anything about Old Town. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
This is Daniel. Is this the time for a citizen comment?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'd just like to briefly comment on the recent enforcement of the International Property Management Code. So I understand the code's on the books and y'all have obligations to enforce, your codes of record and everything like that. But the sudden enforcement of this has been particularly disruptive to existing construction projects that have already been authorized for design or in progress for some time. And I'd like to, urge council and the city management to consider like a 12 to 18 month grace period be considered before enforcing some of those standards. And then during that time would like to encourage that, conversations be had with citizens and other stakeholders, builders, architects, and invested parties in both the community of Port Aransas and those impacted by these unit sizes with, cost of construction, in Port Aransas is fairly high, and every additional square foot say 50 square foot for an additional occupant can be pretty expensive, $10,000 plus. A lot of people love coming to Port Aransas to vacation. Friends, families come down and stay and enjoy the properties. And I don't think an additional 50 square foot or 100 square foot in some of these bunk rooms is going to make a bit of difference to their stay, except to make it more expensive and make ownership in Port Aransas more expensive. So I appreciate your time, Mayor and Council, and that's my public comment. And I'll also be on to answer any questions regarding the PUD item or the zoning item. I'm sorry, plating item, and discuss hotel and conference center. So I'll stay on and mute. Thank you.
We have Joe Kruger coming in. He may have a comment. Hi, Joe. Her audio's connecting. Hi, Joellen. If you want to maybe read a comment right now until she gets connected from one of the other citizens.
The first one on this list is basically what Daniel just, basically spoke. So I don't think I need to reread what he just said. So
I think there's 10 of them, aren't there?
Yeah, there's.
Well, no, Daniel Mazak sent in a public comment, and basically he just restated that.
Right.
Now, there is a separate letter that
yeah.
was written, but that was not his separate public comment. So I'm not going to reread Daniel's. There is a letter that has been sent multiple times, I think maybe 10 at least. It was signed by multiple parties, and then it was sent by individuals. So I will read that. Dear City Port Aransas officials, the city's recent enforcement of the International Property Maintenance Code 2015 edition has brought about severe unrest to the community of Port Aransas. This has impacted many homes already under construction, seeking a certificate of occupancy, homes presently being submitted for permit, and homes presently in design by various architects and developers. Through its enforcement, it has also caused extensive financial harm and time delays to builders, architects, and lot and homeowners alike. And in that time, will do the same to owners of thousands of homes and properties around Port Aransas. Section 404.4.1 appears to be the largest cause of concern to the city of Port Aransas. However, there are several sections regarding accessing rooms off of other rooms and locating beds off of halls or under stairs that also may impact many Port Aransas homes, which will be discussed later. This is the section from the code, 404.4.1, room area. Every living room shall contain not less than 120 square feet, and every room shall not contain less than 70 square feet, and every bedroom occupied by more than one person shall contain not less than 50 square feet of floor area for each occupant thereof. Before we consider the ramifications this has to owning property in Port Aransas, a town supported by tourism, most largely by Texas families, I believe it's valuable to first understand why the International Property Maintenance Code exists and its mission. The International Property Maintenance Code is founded on principles that the IPMC must: 1, adequately protect public health, safety, and welfare. 2, not unnecessarily increase construction costs. 3, not restrict the use of new materials, productions, or methods of construction. And 4, not give preferential treatment to particular types or classes of materials, products, or methods of construction. Outside of occupancy, the IPMC spends significant time outlining standards for fire, safety, egress, and ventilation. It even discusses the minimum number of placement of light fixtures to adequately light a space and minimum ceiling heights. Below are some of the excerpts. How to adequately ceiling height can affect physical well-being. How in overcrowded living conditions, privacy is lost and mental health is affected. Chapter 4, which also discusses occupancy limits in addition to light and ventilation standards, spends time discussing the fundamental psychological needs of occupants, including
Luke Daly.
Privacy for
Joined the meeting.
Facilities that make possible for the performance of household tasks with undue physical and mental fatigue. Adequate space and sufficient ceiling heights reduce physical and mental fatigue. Section 404.4.1, the same section regarding square feet required by per occupant, goes on in the inspector's commentary to discuss how inadequate sleeping space reduces privacy and provides insufficient space for clothes, furniture, and personal belongings. It appears evident that the IPMC seeks to protect the well-being of occupants, particularly in permanent occupant situations. What isn't discussed or defined anywhere in the text are terms like bunk, short-term, or vacation. Broadly, people are not living in bunk rooms full-time, and if they are, it is reasonable for them to simply remove excess bunks or have fewer occupancies share that space long-term. Bunks and bunk rooms provide excellent space for your children's friends to stay the night. Your college student to invite his closest friends to come home to the beach for the weekend, or even extra space for a couple or two to come stay for a few nights. The problem with this code is it does not create any distinction between regular bedroom and a bunk room or permanent living quarters versus transient living quarters. City of Port Aransas short-term rental ordinance hits the occupancy to 2 adults per sleeping room plus an additional 4 per dwelling unit, unless otherwise allowed by building official. Children under the age of 12 are not counted in the occupancy calculation. Texas Property Code Section 92.010 on the occupancy limits establishes the maximum number of adults that a landlord may allow to occupy a dwelling is 3 times the number of bedrooms in the dwelling, and an adult is considered an individual of 18 years of older. The IPMC does not distinguish between adults and children in its discussion of occupants in the way the state and city ordinances on occupancy do. The City of Port Aransas appears to have a desire to use this code retroactively to address perceived overcrowding throughout town. While this appears within your municipal rights, the question remains, was this the intent of IPMC, and should it be enforced as is, or is there another alternative solution? With hundreds of projects and millions of dollars already sunk into projects in design and under construction, and billions of dollars of existing homes which could be impacted by this ruling, it seems important to take a beat and decide what's best for the town and the property owners. The solution may be to provide an 18-month grace period before enforcing the occupancy and sleeping provisions to the IPMC. This would allow for time to existing projects and planning to obtain building permits without requiring a complete redesign, and homes nearing completion would not require that bunks be torn out or modified to comply. This would also give time for the city to select a committee to evaluate the impacts of enforcing this provision on new and existing homes. How many existing homes are there out there that would require the removal of multiple beds? With climbing construction costs, lumber shortages, increased permitting costs, and appreciating land values, home ownership in Port Aransas is more expensive than ever, and the cost of an additional 50 square feet is easily $10,000. The Chamber of Commerce data suggests that over 5 million people visit Port Aransas each year. What's the impact to the tax base, the restaurants, the businesses, the town, if it sees a 25% cut to that number? Do Port A citizens and officials feel the occupancy standards set by the IPMC are better than the ones that have been on the books regarding short-term rentals? Is there a better solution? We believe there is, and it's worth taking the time to establish what it is. Kindest regards, a collection of Port Aransas property owners, residents, builders, architects, and business owners. So that was submitted by Daniel Mazak originally, and then it was also resubmitted by Kara Burgess of Port Aransas. Also submitted by Zach Tariki, Port Aransas. Also submitted by Judd Tariki of Port Aransas. Also submitted by Jody JRS Newport. Okay, this is a separate letter. Good afternoon, Francesca. I would like this letter to be read as public comment in today's council meeting. Dear City Council members, the recent news that the city intends to retroactively enforce chosen sections of the IRC and the local short-term rental ordinance is concerning. I own and personally manage several short-term rental homes in Port Aransas and would like the city to consider a timeline and enforcement practices of the recent proposals. A delay in the enforcement of the short-term rental and IRC codes would allow ample time for comment and discussion and hopefully a more thoughtful approach to these issues. We are full-time residents, and as such, we care deeply about keeping Port Aransas residents and guests safe and would like the opportunity to discuss further as your time allows. Thank you for your consideration. Regards, Mike DeYoung. Okay, this is a new letter from Carrie Rab, I hope I said that right. Port Aransas officials, I have a short-term rental property in Port Aransas. I'm very concerned with the recent enforcement. I would encourage city officials to table the enforcement for 18 months, which would allow time to further research the ramifications of the IPMC bunk issue. Thank you for your consideration. Regards, Carrie Robb. She also submitted the same letter that I read. An additional letter from Marty Walker. To whom it may concern, as a property owner, I found these major issues in enforcement to be cumbersome and feel it should be put to a vote for all property owners to decide how Port Aransas is shaped. I think the current ideas put forth are draconian and not in the best interest of the community. Thanks, Marty Walker. He also submitted the same letter. This is Garrett Burnson also submitted the same letter.
I can't hear a word they're saying, so they'll have to repeat all that.
And those were all that was in that packet. How about we take a 5-minute recess? We're going to take a 5-minute recess.
5-minute recess, everyone. We got to figure out some IT issues.
Yeah, sorry, we have some technical difficulties.
Hey, is it y'all that's freezing up or is it me?
I don't know. We're having technical issues. We don't know what the problem is.
Are we freezing up on you, Beth?
Yes.
You are freezing up on me.
Same thing. Where's Joan?
Yeah, I sent Joan a text to see if it was freezing up on her, but
I don't see you all at all, so.
So Joan, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear just fine.
Have you been hearing the last stuff that Wendy's been reading?
Yes, I've heard it all.
Okay.
I did too.
David,
Hear anything?
I'm going to try to hop on and in this hotel, they had 2 options. I think I picked the one.
Beth, were you able to hear what I said? But the audio, but the visual was frozen?
Yell at.
Wendy.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you can hear
I'm
me
half
on the
hearing
mayor's
you.
office.
Yeah, we can hear you, Fran.
Okay. Okay. Let's just you can leave it on mute and then.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me know if you need me.
Could be a computer problem.
Go through all that again.
Mayor, she just read the real long letter.
The real what?
The long letter that 10 people sent in. It's that long duplicate letter.
About the IPMC?
Yes, sir.
You read all of them.
Okay.
Mayor, I read that 34 pages of citizen comments that Fran sent us in the email. I read all of that.
Okay, how about citizen comments now?
We had one, and as soon as Fran gets back, we'll invite those others to speak.
Okay. Good show.
Get a copy of the IPMC code.
Yeah, we'll get it to you. Okay, where are we at?
We do have Luke Daly.
Yeah, let's get citizen comments on.
Mayor, are you still there?
I'm still here. This stuff is for the birds.
Hey there.
Hey, Luke. How are you?
Fine. I'm frustrated, but it's not you, it's technology.
Okay, where are we at? Okay, go ahead and present your citizen comment, and you have 3 minutes.
Let's get citizen comments on.
I don't think she hears you.
It's delayed.
I think it's probably Luke's or somebody that has.
Yeah, it's Luke. I gotta get away from the computer.
Okay.
Tell me when to start.
Go.
Go right ahead.
Okay. All right. I sent an email to the city, and this is what it goes like. Dear Mayor Bouillon and Port Aransas City Council members, It is my understanding that there is one position open on the Planning and Zoning Commission left vacant by a recent resignation. I know of several other citizens who attempted to serve but could not continue, frustrated by that board's direction and conduct. Many residents feel the same, that our concerns are not being heard and our neighborhoods are being degraded by the proliferation of densely packed, short-term rental developments. These higher density subdivisions were originally proposed under the guise of providing more affordable housing for the local workforce. They have obviously not done this, but only added to problems with traffic, parking, noise, and congestion. It is time to reevaluate these other development schemes as they are not doing what they were intended. Requests for review of the long-term master plan, adherence to Vision Port Aransas, and honoring the Old Town Resolution have been ignored, rebuffed, and flatly refused. However, it seems the city charter states that the master plan is to be reviewed every 5 years. Until this is done, there should be a moratorium on accepting new applications for higher density subdivisions allowing short-term rentals, especially in Old Town. The recent stampede of proposals, the last-minute submittals for review, 400, 500 pages at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon when Planning and Zoning meets on Tuesday, and the many violations of city code found within indicate this need for a moratorium. Because of the coronavirus, public access to city resources and meetings is unwise and difficult, if not impossible. Do not take this as a lack of interest or approval of recent decisions. There is growing resentment of real and apparent conflicts of interest on the part of some of those elected, selected, and hired to direct projects here. Hopefully you will seriously consider this as you make this appointment for Planning and Zoning. Please choose community members without a vested interest in these projects and those whose employment or livelihood will not hamper their decisions. Please, no more developers, their employees, or those whose employment could be affected by those with projects before the Planning Commission. If there are no candidates that fit that criteria, we suggest you table that decision and reopen the application process. This is signed by 72 people: Luke and Willie Daly, Pat, Eve, and Katie Kucklenberg, Jill and Roger Brodnax, Laska and Perry Dudden, Christy and Frank Goldston, Arnold and Diane Gavella, Carol Kilgore, Nancy Kilgore, Pam and John Klee, Doug and Rebel Langford, Tim and Liz Lockwood, Danny and Janine Labrusso, Charlene and Dennis McMillian, Toots and Janice Moore, John and Donata Morris, Tina and Bob Newman, Les and Brenda Porter, Ed and Rita Reed, Rick and Lily Richardson, Stephanie Sawyer, Drake Sawyer, Jimmy and Donna Schaefer, Sue Shermer and Leo Cotu, Tim and Marie Smallwood, Amy and Dave Sullivan, Sherry and Ned Teller, Dan and Betty Ulick, Dr. Ron Thomas, Brenda Barnett, Wavell Brown, Julie Finley, Paul Flynn, Nancy Hyder, Teresa James, Bob Kinzel Jr., Wayne Kite, Mallory Kalasha, Dorothy Lindner, Christina Milligan, Rita Pearson, Susie Pina, Susan Lagerdost Powell, Dee Dee Smith, Bobby White, Kelly Heron, Yvette Sullivan, and Danny and Beery Sullivan. So each member of you have gotten this, and you need to understand this relates to things on this agenda today, especially Rock Cottages. It's just, we went through that. We found so many mistakes, errors, omissions, and we think a lot of them were intentional. We're tired of being run over by those who want to just run our city for their own profit. So please consider this and choose carefully when you put people on planning and zoning, because that is why we are where we are now. And people are very upset. These 72 people all signed up within the last 48 hours. So I think you can see this is not just a few same old people. Thank you. And my own concern about Rock Cottages is wrong. It's the wrong project in the wrong place. There's plenty of other developments going on. There's plenty of places for second homes. And we have so many people in Port Aransas, they're getting pushed out of their first homes. People that have to rent. And I am so glad that you're doing the affordable housing or the workforce housing out the road. I'm so glad, but it's already, there's people that have to leave by March. And I don't think that's going to be ready by then. So you got to stop letting the second home short-term rentals just run our city into the ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou.
Can we comment on that?
No.
No, sir. But that's all the citizen comments that we've had that called in.
Can we get Kruger back on?
She did, and she has no comment.
Okay.
What's next, Francisca?
It's going to be your executive session.
Executive session, item 7, Mayor.
I'm on it. The city council will conduct a closed executive session in compliance with section 55-1-072 to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, and value of real property interest for property located at 113 Allister Street, Port Aransas, Texas, 78373. Morgan's Addition lots 1 through 10, block 2, and a portion of lots 5 and 6, block 1. We're now in executive session. It's 5:42.
All right.